Let's take a look at this dynamic pass from Alan McNish on Pedro Lamy, lap 1, turn 1.
Well, no hanging about here. Alan McNish wanted to get to the front, get the visibility. Boy, what a move. First corner, first lap.
He made his intentions clear, and that was good work in GT2. The Robertson GT40 lost the lead to the Corvette Racing C6. That was a nice move early on. The Corvettes looked extremely strong. So too did the Muscle Milk Porsche.
Yeah, Klaus Graf was absolutely flying in the Spider and made a switch over to these slick tires, and consequently on the outlap, look what happens. The conditions caught him out, as it did for many other drivers during the course of this event.
They had to go behind the wall. They were certainly not the only prototype to go behind the wall, because that's where the XM Radio Acura for DeFerrin Motorsports went after this contact. Look at that right, left, heavily damaged.
Late move by John Field there, he admitted so, and more damage to one of the BMWs. Joey Hand was running well, problems with the oil tank, took that car to the transporter.
However, they were running quite strong, weren't they? Look at this, Scott Dixon vying for his 3rd IndyCar title this year, and this was during his first stint in the car.
Yeah, just lost it under braking. We had some conjecture about maybe the earlier damage caused the problem, but no report from that from the team. He just lost it a little bit under braking, got wide, and then with the slick conditions, he again went for a ride.
This was a scary moment for Chris McMurray in the Autocon Lola. Massive contact, turn 1. He was a passenger for the majority of the way.
Yeah, he was shook up, certainly. We understand something may have broken on the car to cause that incident through the ultra-fast turn 1 area.
Rain really started to come down. Some had already made the switch to wet weather tyres, others hadn't.
Peugeots were on their way in, but guess what? Pedro Lamy couldn't make that turn, lost it. And talking about losing it, look at this in the back of the frame. Johnny O'Connell in the number 3 Corvette. Big moment there. Fortunately, a gravel trap there, a new gravel trap, caught Johnny. He did lose a lap.
So too did Rob Bell. He spins in this new prototype. This was the gentle nudge. He had one a little more severe earlier on in the Drayson Racing car, and then we saw the red flag a little after 4 p.m. local time this afternoon. We are back live here at Road Atlanta for the Petit Le Mans, and if you have been with us throughout the afternoon and evening, you will know that we have been doing half-hourly updates just to keep you in the loop as much as it is for ourselves. And now, as we promised, we can give you a definitive decision. The race has been declared. So the weather has just been a little bit too much to get on top of. Hello again, Lee Diffie, along with Calvin Fish and Dorsey Schrader. Boys, an extraordinary day. The weather, as we know, in the state of Georgia, not just affecting this motor race, but the weather in the state of Georgia and Metro Atlanta has just been horrendous over the past 2 weeks. It's finally taken its toll on this event.
It really has, and it's a big shame because there's been so many fans here, even with the bad weather starting the day, that have stuck around to try and see some more motor racing here today. And Dorsey, we had a fascinating battle that was going to shape up in both the P1 category and GT2, and we're not going to see it happen. So, very weird day indeed.
Well, the reality of it is this racetrack is just so fast and it's so dangerous under these conditions. It's just, you know, you just can't resume. There's just no way that these lakes out there are not going to go away in the next hour or so. We have to be off the air before that. So they did all they could do.
The big storyline, though, is that Audi has never been defeated at Petit Le Mans since they started competing here at Road Atlanta. They were going for 10 from 10. That has not happened. Peugeot victorious finally. Justin Bell has more.
Well, Frank Montagny, I'd like to say a superb win. It was a superb drive to be in first place, and probably the strangest win you've ever had as a team, correct?
Yeah, 100% agreed. I mean, it was kind of difficult because at the beginning we had some problems with tires and we struggled with the car, especially with the track, which was going drier and drier. But as soon as we put the dry tires, we went very fast, and we just catch back as fast as we could. You know, it was like qualifying laps all the time, and we really enjoyed it with Stefan. But
so when you come and do a race like Petit Le Mans, it's a very challenging track, correct? I mean, very good preparation for you for Le Mans next year, you think?
Not for Le Mans, because it's a narrow track, it's short, but it's good for drivers, you know, to see how fast you can be and how quickly you can get in action, because it's cold tires, the track is very difficult and a lot of traffic. The only problem is it's a half race again, so we wanted to race for a complete one and to fight against the others for longer.
And one statistic we just got told, I don't know if you're into records, the record book always says it doesn't tell the full story. You the 10th year would have been for Audi to win, and you guys have beaten them. It shows how strong, how fast the team has come up.
It's just the beginning.
Fantastic. Well, Frank, you won the Petit Le Mans.
Yeah.
Chris?
Well, I'm down here with a very disappointed Alan McNish. Obviously, we want to make sure things are safe out there, but just too much rain. How disappointed are you that you couldn't take another swing at the Peugeots?
Just frustrated more than disappointed, because obviously it was very wet when they called the race, and I think it was the right decision, even a little bit too late in reality, because our cars were already going off. But it's a very difficult decision to make. And I think like everybody else, we all really would like for it to have continued, including the Peugeot guys, but it wasn't to be on this occasion.
Before we went to red flag, you had a couple spins out there. What exactly happened?
The one behind the pace car, just basically we lost all the tyre temperature. Pace car runs very slowly and it's cold here, and all the tyre temperature went. And the other one was just pure aquaplaning, Marco, and there's quite a few people off at the same time. In fact, it was literally at that point that they threw the full course yellows.
You've got to wait until potentially Sebring now to have another swing at Peugeot. Is it going to take a lot of patience to get to March?
You know, at the end of the day, I think we did a very, very good job today. We acquitted ourselves extremely well. If we were able to run the race duration, I think we would have been in a very strong position to take the victory. But, you know, that wasn't to be as it's turned out right now. I just feel kind of, like I said, frustrated.